I didn't tell you yesterday that Wednesday night, when some of your parents came in, it was back to school night, the Mac Lab went down after school. I didn't know about it till I got back there and was going to present to them. And tech happens, like I told you, so you roll with it. And we talked. And there were questions about what's my kid's grade? And yeah, I intended to fill these out tomorrow. And to be fair, I reread Reimagine with special focus on those three sections that deal with grades. And the more I thought about it, the more it seemed that this quote was appropriate. Now, I wrote this back in 2009. Where were you in May of 2009? Well, this is where I was in trying to explain what we do in the Mac Lab and how we do it. Now, this hasn't changed. One of the things I told your parents is that two huge changes I made this year. Among the changes, two of them were, instead of starting every student out with an A, I started every student out with an F. Because according to the rubric, who are you is an F, and I didn't know who you were. But I told your folks that I wanted to play fair, so I said I'd hold off until I knew you better and would be able to give a fair assessment of what you actually chose for your grade with your actions. And I know some of you are saying, what's he talking about? Well, you're the people who didn't read Reimagine or pay attention to the rubric quest or embrace the code of honor. Those are the things that make the Mac Lab work. But the second thing I said that I threw on you was a lot of complexity right out the gate. I did throw down a lot of different things that I told you I expected you to understand. Not immediately, but through a little repetition. But you have been trained better than Pavlov's dogs ever have. They salivated at a bell. You look at school as a series of things to get past and move on to the next thing. Well, in the Mac Lab, that's not how it works. We build upon what we've learned and continually use each of these new skill sets, each of these new strategies, all the techniques, everything we're doing. This is cumulative learning. This is not sequential learning where you just move on and forget all about it. So, what am I making this video for? What's the point? Well, the point is we learn through process. And what I have learned in pondering, reflecting, imagining, and the rest is that I don't have enough information to assign grades fairly. I need to spend a little more time observing and interacting with you rather than moving about like a butterfly from student to student going, hey, well, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? And I need you to embrace something new. This concept that before you ask me, listen, before you ask me, ask at least 3 of your classmates. And if your answer is, well, I don't know 3 classmates, maybe you are new in the class and you don't know anybody. Well, there's no better way to get to know someone by walking over and saying, hey, I'm having a little trouble with this. Do you know how to do this? Work together. It builds a sense of community and it will make all of us stronger. Besides, in the real world, your supervisor doesn't want you running to her every time you have a question. She wants you to work it out. She wants you to work with your classmates. Okay? There are some things that you will need to come to me about. You're going to have to use your judgment. Okay? So, have a great Friday. Remember, we do have a Mac Lab Saturday school tomorrow, and my apologies, but not really, for not assigning grades this weekend because it wouldn't be fair. And I always try to be fair.